I'm ready.
Hi.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's going wonderful. How are you?
I'm great. I am beyond excited this week. This is our first time having the actual artist sit down and talk with us. So this week's artist of the week is Josh Mann, and he's here. So all the way from
Hello.
St. Louis.
All the way.
All the way from St. Louis. Well, thank you for taking time out to do this with us, first off.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're a busy
I'm
guy.
getting paid to do this right now, technically. I'm technically at work right now. So.
Oh, you're at work. I was going to say, Park Hill School District has not sent me a check for you yet, but if you would like me to try, I can see what I can do. I can't guarantee it's going to be very much, but yeah, but you're at work right now.
Technically, yes.
So what is your work, your normal work?
So I am an engineer at a biomedical company called bioMérieux, and we make medical devices. So basically, if you get your urine, blood sampled, tells you what's wrong with you and what drug to take. And I work on the instruments that determine those
things. So you know how sometimes I say you're smarter than me? That's what I'm referring to right there. It sounds really, really cool.
It is really
over my head. So, but I'm really lucky. I'm lucky that I got to meet you. I don't know, maybe
a while ago.
5 years ago or something. I don't know.
Yeah, something like that.
It's been a while. Through Jessica Schwint, who was last week's guest on the Artist of the Week, and you are one of her husband's best friends, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So the story is that I went down to hang out with Jess, probably for, I don't know, her birthday or something in St. Louis, and I got to see your studio in person.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I remember this is my first time there, so, but I just remember loving it, and I saw one of the pieces in process that you ended up sending me a print of, which is still hanging in my house. It's one of my favorites, so I'm excited to reconnect, and I was happy to see some new stuff out as well. So sorry I don't follow up on all the engineering things that you're doing. I'm sure you're doing great things in that world too. But as far as art goes, that's what I can talk about. So a couple quick questions about you. So where did you grow up? And what's kind of been your journey with art? Because obviously this isn't your full-time job. So how did you get to this point?
Okay, so I was technically born in Salina, Kansas, but I've lived in St. Louis most of my life. Let's see, I started painting probably when I was like 10, 11, very young. Not that much. I've always been into art stuff, always taking art classes. Did that all through high school, and then college I took some art stuff, but really just to fulfill electives. I didn't really see the need to take it like for a degree. I was much more interested in engineering, one, for the career opportunities, and two, it just, like I said, if I want to learn art, I can go take art classes anywhere, anytime. I didn't really feel like I needed to get a college degree in it. So yeah, and I've been here for a long time. I live in Maplewood now in Missouri, or in St. Louis. Everybody knows where that is. And I've been working at the company I've been at for like 8 years now. I left for a couple times for some other jobs, but came back. It's a really great place to work. Yeah, and I still paint. My goal these days is to paint one thing a year. I know that doesn't seem like that much. The paintings I usually do take about 80 to 100 hours, so it's not even like that much time if you really wanted to get it done. I just have so many other hobbies and things that I have to do. Painting's just one thing that I like to do on the weekends every once in a while, and I've been lucky enough to sell a lot of paintings, and I don't know, pretty great. But for me, it's a hobby, and I paint what I want to paint. I don't really care to do commissions. People have come to me and be like, oh, paint this, paint that, and I'm just kind of like, at the end of the day, it's my time, and I don't want to waste it on painting stuff that I don't want to paint. If people don't want to buy my art, I don't really care. I make plenty of money as an engineer, and I'm very happy with that. So yeah, that's what I got.
Very cool. So you mentioned you have other hobbies as well. What are some of those other hobbies?
I'm a big rock climber. I do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Those eat up probably most of my time. I love to cook. I spend a lot of time doing that. Recently, just baking has been taking up a lot of time. I used to do a lot of whitewater kayaking. That's not a huge time suck anymore. I like to build things and work around the house. I got a house a couple years ago, and that's been taking up a lot of time as well. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. Jack of all trades.
Yeah.
Well, very cool. So right now, first thing I want to talk about is the Fox, because this is the one that I pushed out to the students this week. Can you tell me just a little bit about this piece, when you created it, what you were thinking, what you were going for?
So this one, I don't even know when I painted it, probably 3 years ago.
Okay.
I really liked, this came from a photograph I took of the Fox Theater in St. Louis. My fiance just heard me say that, and she said wrong. Oh, she took the picture. That's
You
why.
took the photo. Okay.
Oh my God, I was like, wait, no, that was.
Okay, yeah, you got to give credit. Credit's due. If you were trying to submit this for an AP art studio project, we would have to reject it because you did not take the photo. So.
Anyways, it was just like a picture that I'd taken, or she had taken, of me actually walking, and I didn't think much of it at the time, but maybe whatever I was painting at the time, I had just finished up, and I was like, what the hell am I gonna paint next? And I think I just looked at it and I was like, man, that'd be really fun to play with the lighting in that one. And I just like saw it, and it also seemed kind of like easy to paint and quick. And so I was just kind of like, yeah, I think I can do that. And so I just started it, and I added in the female there. She is not real. But yeah, that's really it. It turned out really great.
Is that why?
What's that?
Because she was taking the photo, so she wasn't actually in the photo.
I didn't want to be alone in the picture.
Oh.
It's not like actually me. I didn't want to paint me, but I'm the model for it, yes. But I loved how the lighting turned out, and it turned out, I don't know if a lot of people feel this way, but a lot of times when you paint stuff, it just turns out way better than you expected. I don't know, you just get lucky or something.
Yeah, it's cool. So how big is this, so that they can get kind of an understanding? You've sold this, right? It's gone. 36
by 24 or so, I think.
Okay.
Pretty
good.
I don't know if that's big, people.
And most of your work is about that size, right? Do you usually?
Yeah, I like building my own canvas. I don't know, something about just like bigger stuff always like just ended up looking better when it's bigger. I don't know.
Impressive. I like it. Okay, well, we will come back to this. I'll give you a couple quotes from what some students at Lead said, but I want to quickly just go through a couple other ones because they haven't gotten a chance to see your other work. All they know right now is your name and the Fox and that photo, unless they're researching, which is possible. Some of them probably did that, but this one I wanted to put on here because this is the one that I saw when I came to your house, to your studio, and it was, I don't know, maybe 3/4 of the way done.
Oh, really? Wow. That's a long time ago.
And I love it. And this is the one that I have a little print of. But so what inspired this one?
This one was actually just someone, when I was younger, like in high school, not high school, like, or even early college, I was kind of big into like DeviantArt, which still exists, I guess. And this was just some model I had met on there, and she had some really cool photos, and I reached out to her and was like, hey, I really want to paint that. And she's like, definitely. Or I had talked to the photographer too, I think, so I don't think she took it. And I want to say she's from like Romania or Russia or something. And I painted it for her, and I don't think she thought much of it at the time when I was like, I want to paint this. But then months later, when I was done with it, I remember sharing it with her, and she was just blown away. And I don't know, it was really cool. But there's not really much into this one at all. I just thought it was really cool for him.
It's really pretty.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's like, I like to paint too. I'm not like, you are definitely the artist here, but I'm the same way as far as like, I just paint things because I like them, because they're pretty.
Yeah.
And so I think that's partly why I liked seeing your studio, and I like seeing this one, because I just was like, it's nice.
I think it seems like, and I don't know if I'm going to say this correctly, but like, it seems like later in my painting career, I'm painting more things that kind of come from my life, and it's not really, I still am just like, yeah, I want to paint that because I like the way it looks and I think I can make it look really cool. But it's weird that it's more of, it's like kind of everyday life stuff that I'm just like interested in. I don't know. And then it kind of turns into that like deeper meaning stuff of like, oh, this is your life, this is what you're painting. Whereas before I was just like, I want to paint that because it's pretty, and now I'm doing that and it actually is like stuff from my life. I don't know. It's been kind of interesting.
You're evolving as an artist. Yeah. In fact, I think some of the next ones I have are your more recent work. So do you want to touch really quick on this one?
So this was the last thing I painted, and this was from, so yeah, I do a lot of whitewater kayaking, and usually every May for the past like 6 years, we usually go out west in, you know, Idaho, California, Wyoming, Oregon, Washington, and because that's where all the water is and that's where all the cool rivers are. And so once again, this was a picture I took. We were up in the mountains around Leavenworth, Washington, and I just took this picture, and
wait, we're sure
months later came back.
Now.
Yes, I took this picture, and we came back, and I was once again probably looking for something to paint, and I was like, oh, I should paint some kayaking stuff. You know, that's a big part of my life, and these are my best friends in this picture, and I don't know, I painted it, and it turned out pretty cool.
That's awesome.
And, you know, there's a lot of like other kayakers out there, and just a lot of like camping people that have really like liked this too. I mean, I don't know, it's cool.
Yeah.
Different.
I think the lighting with this and with the fox is really something different from a lot of your previous work. So.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what else.
I almost want to share with you the original pictures of some of these things.
What's that?
I want to like show you the picture I took that came
Feel
from.
free to, I mean, if you want to email it to me, I'll leave it.
Yeah, I would have to do it.
Yeah, I'd love to see it. Okay, so this one, I'm assuming this is the photographer from the fox, right?
This is me.
This is you?
Not her, but I am the photographer.
You're the photographer.
I am the photographer.
So who is this in the photo, and when did you make this?
This is my lovely fiance.
There we go. She's the photographer from the fox photo.
Yeah. Oh, now
that's what I was trying to say. Yeah. I was trying to give her credit. Yeah, she's a photographer too, clearly. So.
This is in her old apartment. I'm sitting on the couch there, I guess, and I took the picture, and I was like, oh, this lighting's really cool. Once again, I don't know, I keep coming back to lighting. I really like playing with it. I would like the next thing I want to paint, I really want something like dark with cool, creepy lights in it. But yeah, this one was really cool, and this was the last painting I ever did. I used to like kind of sketch them out beforehand, and this was the last, like every line pretty much.
Oh, really?
And this was the last one I did that, and I realized I'm better at just painting it it saved me so much time. I would sit down for like 8 hours and like draw lines, and then come back for 8 hours and paint. And this one taught me, because of all the white in it, like I use a very light colored pencil, because when you paint over it, you know, it obviously is kind of transparent sometimes. And this one taught me to stop sketching beforehand and just paint. It saved me a lot of time.
Cool. Yeah. Very cool.
But I don't actually remember
the theme of lighting and your everyday life with these. These are the most recent ones. So
yeah.
Okay.
This one, I don't remember where we were going or what we were doing, but yeah, cool picture.
You're going to the fox, of course.
maybe this is
I'll just make up your storylines for you if that's okay. Okay, and then this one I thought was interesting because it was a little different. I pulled this from your website. I hope that's okay. But anything about this one?
This was just, I'm just really obsessed with those little squiggly lines, and I just poured everything. Now, this one's a very, very early work, and it was fun.
I don't know. It looks fun. I kind of want to do something like this. I mean,
Yeah, it's just
Probably shouldn't
overkill.
copy your style exactly, but it looks like a good time.
And it's big. I think it's actually, if you want to,
You have it?
yeah. No,
Oh
it's in the
no.
corner.
Yeah, this
It's behind
lighting.
the door.
All right. Well, I want to share with you just a few critiques that students gave. So hopefully you're ready for that. I don't know.
Okay.
These are very judgmental high school students.
That's what I want. I want the harshness.
Good. No, but I already mentioned to you earlier, like I was really, I mean, I never know what they're going to say. Honestly, like sometimes they love things. Usually it's split to some degree. I think as far as the Fox goes, you had quite a following. A lot of people enjoyed it. And you'll see that in these quotes. So first off, Parker V describes the piece for us, as I have them do, but then says the artistic style is very unique and seems to be made of all kinds of thread-like strokes. I like that. There's a variety of colors throughout each stroke. It all comes together smoothly, and the two lights resemble very small suns or cotton balls. I'm sure that's what you're going for, cotton balls.
Yep.
There are a variety of details throughout the piece that can be seen if you look very closely. Personally, I really enjoy how each stroke is very important to the completion of the piece. So, and then Parker goes on to say it's very relaxing, makes you feel like you're taking your own walk in the city at night. So, yeah.
Thanks, Parker. I feel the same way, and I've never really thought about that. You're right. It does make me feel relaxed as well that I'm taking the walk.
Did you ever know you would be looking for affirmation from high school students?
I do.
I don't know that you really need that, but kind of fun when you get it, right?
It is. I get a lot of affirmation from older women and stuff that buy my work. 50-something-year-old people.
Well, unfortunately, I think most of my students will not be able to afford your work as they're just getting their first jobs. But I think you have some fans now, and maybe I try to print or something.
Yeah, I try to make my prints as affordable as possible, because the one thing I hate more than anything is when you look at people's art and you're like, I really like that. I obviously can't spend $10,000 on an original. Why are your prints $3,000 a piece? Like, that is ridiculous. Like, let me just have it. Otherwise, because you know what I do when I see that? I'm like, okay, I'm gonna copy paste this, I'm gonna print it out, I'm gonna frame it, and I'm still gonna have your art. I'm gonna get any money. And I don't care because I like that thing.
I don't have any of those around my house. Don't worry. Never.
I want to support them, but I can't.
I'm pretty sure that's what I would have done with yours if you didn't just send me one of the prints. Okay, so McClara R. This was a funny one because McClara is kind of tough in some of her previous responses to other weeks. So she said, I honestly like this piece. It's a good start. It's probably one of my favorites out of all of the others we did. Not saying the other pieces are bad, just saying that I like this better. The reason why is because of the style they did with this piece. I like how they use squiggly lines to paint most of the piece into something that looks like something that we could see other than just plain old squiggly lines mushed together. Little does she know we have those too, but that's okay. They made actually painting out of squiggly lines, not saying people can't, but yeah, you can hear her saying that. So you have a fan in McClara. Apparently McClara is not happy with my other choices, but digging the Josh Mann originals. So there you go. Sophomore right here.
Do they get to know if I'm a boy or a girl?
Yeah, I put your name, so I mean they can probably guess, but and they can look you up, and sometimes in the past they do. I did not see a lot of people looking yours up. I think usually when students are researching, it's because they don't know what to say. And so they're like looking for things to say. And I think a lot of people were intrigued by your style. And so they had things to say. There's also some people who recognized the fox, which is partly why I wanted to use that one.
Wow.
Thought that was cool. So Kaylin M, this is my last one to share. First, she describes it. She says the use of line and texture is super intriguing. I agree. But then she goes on to say, I'm not really sure what the artist is trying to communicate on a deeper level, which we kind of talked about. There's not necessarily this like super intense, but from what I see, I assume that they have a relation to St. Louis, or maybe theater considering the Fox is actually a theater in St. Louis. I really, really enjoyed this piece of art. It is very unique in terms of the lines and movements and overall pleasant to look at. I think it is a successful work of art because it makes the audience create possibly their own deeper meaning as well as see something new, which is definitely difficult to do all the time with art. So there's Kaylin. Kaylin's in one of my more advanced classes, so I was excited to see that. And she knows St. Louis, so hey.
Like something I really like right now is like, and I'm sure people have seen these, like all those like street scenes where it's like raining at night in like Japan and there's just neon signs galore. Like I want to paint something like that next, but I just feel like it's already like so well done with the photos that I wouldn't be able to do it. But that's like that's what I like right now.
I mean, with your style, I think that'd be really cool. Your style's not like a photo. I don't know.
I also really want to show. Let me share my screen. Can I do that? It's doing it.
What do you want to do?
I'm gonna share my screen.
Oh, I'll stop sharing. Okay, go ahead.
Share screen. Did that work? People see my screen? Or no, they can't. I guess we can do it from there.
I think.
Share.
There we go. Okay.
Nailed it. I love, so the images you have probably aren't that high resolution, but I love what this was like kind of accidental, but this lady's face is so awesome in this. It's got this creepy, like washed, blurry, I just love it. I don't know. And I really wanted to highlight that because it just makes it much more creepy and awesome.
Much more creepy. I
really like horror art. Like I don't have any yet. I kind of want to make like a small wall in my art room about it because you don't want to like put these creepy kind of horrific images in your house. They're just, you don't want to see those at night or creep people out. You just kind of want them for yourself. So yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I like scary movies. I'm into it. Cool.
Just like those things, because I don't know. There's just something about like when you see like it's not necessarily like a disturbing image, but just something that you're just like, oh, that's weird. But I feel like it's so hard to do that in a painting that it's just like I'm just so impressed when people do that.
Yeah, I mean, I think you should decorate your house in it. I think we should decorate. We should just go to town.
Send you a famous artist that you need to get your kids to look at because.
Oh, you've got one?
I would love to. I can't pronounce his name. It's like
great. Well, then I can't either. That's fine. I always have to look it up. I didn't have to look up how to say Josh Mann, so luckily I'm doing real well. But
he's got like a
send
creepy
me whatever.
and
I'll share it with my students. I'm sure they'd love to hear it, and so I want to do a quick plug for your website.
Cool.
You know I was going to do this, but you have an awesome website. This is what it looks like. Here's the link, and I'll make sure that link is in there whenever I share this video with students. But you can see way more Josh Mann paintings and learn more about them. You can even purchase prints, or I think most of your actual art is sold, it looks like. But
for the most part, yeah. This one's maybe going to be available soon. It's kind of painting right now.
There you go.
That's a pretty cool one.
Yeah, very cool. But thank you so much for talking to us. And good luck with everything. I'm sure I'll see you around once we can come out of our houses.
Yeah.
Okay. Have a good day.
You too.